quick video here. I'm just assembling my tires, and it's kind of fun. You know, I'm not like an automotive kind of guy. That's my dad, which is cool. But I mean, there's a lot of the stuff I don't really know. You know, I'm kind of learning as I go, but it's just fun to work on it. So this is pretty cool. You know, you got your inside, you have your hub, and then you have your rims, and then of course, you know, you put the one with the valve stem. This will be the outside of the tire, and then you flip it around. So you have those two pieces, and inside, this is the newer design, I think. Actually, I'm sorry, not inside. You have this mechanism in the back. So you just put the two pieces together. Put obviously your tubes inside, the tire tube, and then you put this inside, and then you put this assembly, and this is where the brake. The brake rotor is going to be kind of slide in here, and everything's going to be held with just one bolt. It's super easy to take the tire off the airplane. So this just goes in, you know, and then you line up the 6 bolts and put them in through that way, and then they're just kind of loosely bolted. Obviously, you could tell right here with my rim here, it's not sealed in there. And then you have your caliper system here for your disc brakes and your rotor. And it looks a little bit like that. The lighting's not super good here, and the idea is this will be the inside of the tire, and you just put it through the 3, you know, like that, just through the 3 holes there, and then that'll be, again, like I said, held on with the axle going in this way, and then just a washer and a bolt on this side. So to take off the tire is pretty straightforward. Then the nose weir is a little bit different because you've got this assembly over here. I'm just taking this inside the house, just messing around with it, but it's like that. And you have an inner hub. This is a newer design. There's like several different ways to do it, and then I think you're going to put these on the outside, and then you've got some bolts and hardware here, and then yeah, and that thing's pretty straightforward. And then you got a valve stem right there. All right, got the shock cord here, and I'll tell you what, it's not hard to do, but make sure you got 2 strong guys, or you and somebody else, to wrap this thing, because it can hurt your hands a little bit. So this is supposed to be 12 wraps, and then these things, and then 12 more, and we could only get about 9. There's 9 on the bottom. So there's another set of links of the links that are welded right here. These links are going to come, there's 2 of them for each side, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to set it up this way where I'm going to wrap an additional little bit of shock cord around here just to make sure. I think I'm okay. I only weigh 185 or so. But if I can get a couple more wraps around here, like 3 more wraps, I'm going to do it. So I'll tie it around here, it'll come around here, 3 more wraps, and then back to another link to tie off. So that'll just get that little extra because you don't want it to sag. And of course give you the shock of the landing, but everything's there, and I'll just trim it up. And right now I'm going to install the front seat cushion, and I've got the wheels together, and then we should be let's see, what else am I going to do? I'm going to get this together and then try to get some more of the mains together. Okay, what I've been working on here is the bell cranks and the push-pull tubes for the ailerons. This is the system's pretty neat. You go back and forth up here with the this, I guess, the rear bell cranks, and then the push-pull tubes, which I did today, riveted, and then to the forward bell crank, which attaches to the points that you saw in my earlier videos, where you can actually see, you know, inside the inboard portion of the wings. So it feels nice and firm. You can see back there, that's part of the elevator one. So when you go forward and back, I'll move that tube. Just a little update here of some random things that I've been doing. The gear struts are one, so I've got this installed. You want this to twist a little bit. The big thing is the gear legs. I had to really sand and file. Actually, filing is much better. Off some of the weldment pieces inside. So you might have to do that a little bit, but anyway, once these things go in, should be 4 7/8 inch. Then you can install the gear struts. So I'm just going to do this. This is just temporary. I'll take them off when I wrap the thing in fabric, and then put them on. Because anything exterior like that, you got to get a good wrap around there, or at least coming around here and over here, I guess. But some other things I've done is just again random stuff like the Roni brackets for the wings. So I had to kind of drill those out a little bit, and then those are installed in the front and the back. Still trying to decide what engine to get. I'm either leaning towards the Hearth 3202 or the Aero V2.1, which is an 80 horsepower Volkswagen engine. It's really nice, and it's a little cheaper. I think it might come out to be cheaper, anywhere between $1,000 and to maybe about the same price. It's not quite sure yet what comes with it, but let's see, what else did I do? So I showed the shock cord. I did that the other day, and I'm not that far from wrapping up in some ways, like the small things. Obviously I've got to do like the tail section, paint, install, wrap in fabric. I'll probably do that pretty soon here for the vertical stabilizer, and then I can paint the tail section. I can get the rest of it installed because I want to paint it first before I install everything. Another thing is I got to get a couple extra wraps on the shock cords. That's coming from Tom. I've got another gear leg that's coming from Tom because this one was machined out at 5 7/8 inch for the silver part, for the steel part there, and then when you get to like that powder coating, I guess milled finish or whatever, that's the same length, but it's just not quite there. So I got to get that, but I did install the second gear strut up there just so it's ready to go when that comes. The push-pull tubes for the rudder, I have to do that. That's not going to take me too long. Then the engine mount, and of course all the engine stuff like instrument connections, throttle connections, and fuel connections. I'll put the gas tank back in once I get the wraps from the shock cord. So sorry, a lot of verbiage here. Not a lot of action on these videos, but to be honest, there's not a ton to film. It's just small stuff. It's just turning wrenches. It's not a lot. Another issue I had, and these are nice shoulder harnesses and seat belts, but they're different designs. So they have these, and I don't know if I filmed this before, I'm not sure, but they have these connections at the end. So I need some washers, and those are being sent. So I can get some washers to install them right up behind here in that hole, and then the rear seat belt gets installed in that hole right there. You can see it right there. So that's where that's going, and but yeah, I need some washers because it's got to go around that bolt like that. So that's coming. A lot of things coming. Oh, here's a big one. I don't know if I showed this, but the nose gear's installed. So I put that in. Put the hose clamps on, small hose clamps and the big hose clamps. It's all lined up. So that's ready. Just to put the linkages in from here, from right here to right there. And that's your rudder. And then of course I'll get the nose cone in place. I do have some instruments. I've got my CHT, EGT, and my tachometer. So that's cool. And I'll get those going once I know what engine option I'm going to choose. But I can install that pretty easy. Good, thanks for checking out my videos. It's kind of cool to see things coming together. I mean, as soon as I get these gear on, I'm going to take it off the sawhorses and have it look like a real airplane. So, but I'll probably wrap it in fabric before I do that. Just get everything kind of set up, and then probably take it off the horses, and then when I'm ready to wrap it in fabric, put it back on.